Good morning and welcome to Strength and Balance. My name is Hannah and I'm a senior fitness instructor with Stonebridge Community Services. I am excited to teach this full body strength class. We're going to work on lower body, upper body, and then we'll have some core specific exercises at the end of that part of the class. I will be on the floor for those, but if you don't feel like being down on the ground, that's okay. You can be seated or stand. One of them will be, I'll give another option, an alternative for you. You will need some weights. I'm going to use this 6 set of dumbbells today. You can choose whatever size you like. I encourage you to lift a little bit heavier if you haven't changed weights in a while. If they're feeling easy, try a heavier set. If you don't have any specific weights, you can use evenly weighted soup cans, something evenly weighted from around your house, water bottles, whatever it might be. Or you can always do the exercises with no extra weight. We will also work on some balance, and then we will stretch, and then we'll be all done. So let's come up to feet and let's begin and warm up. Good, let's stand up nice and tall and we will march on the spot, moving those arms forwards and backwards, looking up and ahead. Lifting those feet right up off the floor. And we'll take a nice deep breath, big inhale. And exhale. Lift those hands up. Slowly lower down. And again, lift. And lower. Let's pull those shoulders up towards our ears. Relax them down. Lift those shoulders and lower. Pull those shoulders up and down. Lift and lower. Good. Let's roll our shoulders. Nice big circles. Good. And let's roll those shoulders the other way. Good. Let's take both hands out to the side and little circles here. Back in the other direction. Good, let's bend at the elbows, bring those hands in towards your chest and reach them out. Hands in and out, hands in and out, hands in and out. We're going to hold our hands up like a goalpost, like a field goal. Bring those hands and elbows towards each other and out. Hands in and out, in and out, in and out. Let's take one hand to the ceiling and the other. Slowly lower down. One hand to the ceiling and the other. Lower those hands down. Lift up one and the other. Lower those hands. Good. We're going to stand with our feet hip width apart and let's circle our hips nice and slowly. And back in the other direction. Excellent. Let's tap our toes forwards. And let's tap our toes to the side. And let's tap our heels forwards. And heels to the side. Good, let's bring those feet together, tap our toes. And let's wiggle our fingers. Tap our heels and tap those fingers to your thumb. Good. Let's tap toes, both feet, and we'll circle our wrists. Back in the other direction and tap your heels. Good, and let's tap toes and then heels. Toes, heels. So we're rocking from front of your foot to the back of your foot. Keep those knees nice and soft. Good, and let's finish with a nice deep breath. Big inhale, reach those hands up. Exhale, lower down. Good, we're going to start with a squat. We're going to pick up both weights. We're going to hold them here at shoulder height. I'm going to stand with my feet hip width apart. I'm just going to hold my weights still. I'm going to go up and down in that squat, holding those weights here at my shoulders. We're going to do 8. So we're going to inhale, slowly lower. Exhale to stand back up. Inhale and exhale. Good. Keep that chest nice and tall. Deep breath in and then up. Nice and slowly. We'll do 3 more. Keep the weight in your heels. Keep that chest tall. 1 more. Excellent. And you can relax those arms for just a moment. We're going to do heel raises next. A weight in each hand. You can hold your hands at your sides. I'm going to keep mine up at my shoulders. If you find that heel raises are really tricky for your balance, you can just hold one weight and have a hand on the chair, or you could pop both weights down and use those hands for support. So choose the option that's best for you. I'm going to keep my hands up on my shoulders. I'm going to push up onto tiptoes, slowly lower those heels to the floor. Good. Chest is tall. Good. Breathing out as you lift up. Breathing in as you lower those hands down. This is heels, sorry, this is the last one. And relax. We can pop our weights down. Good. We will do 1 more for lower body here, and then we'll repeat all 3 of those. So I'm going to stand up nice and tall. I'm going to sink into my squat, and I'm going to take little steps. One way, and then the other. So join in with me here. We want the weight back in our heels. We want that chest open so we can take nice deep breaths. Good. Once more, each direction. Little steps. Good, and up. Excellent. Have a quick drink here if you want to, and we'll repeat all 3 of those. We're going to pick up our weights again. Hold them up here at your chest. Feet hip width apart, knees soft. Let's inhale and exhale. Nice and slow on that way down. Exhale as we stand up. Weight in your heels. Keep looking forwards, looking up and ahead. So you can breathe deeply. Last 2. That's 1. And here's 2. Good. Relax those arms for just a moment. We're going to move into that those heel raises, so you can hold the weights where they feel comfortable. Down at your sides like this, up on your shoulders like I'm going to do, or you can pop a weight down to have a hand for support, or both weights down if you need both hands for support here. Let's push ourselves up to tiptoes, slowly lower those heels. So again, we're keeping that chest nice and tall, looking up and ahead. Good. Engaging those core muscles. So you're pulling that belly button in towards your spine. Good, let's do 2 more. And last one. Good, and let's relax those arms and pop the weights down. Excellent. We are going to keep moving. Let's sink into that squat, and we're going to do that squat walk. Now, there's no right or wrong with the amount of steps we take. I take about 3, just because I want to be visible on the camera all of the time. So if you have a bigger space, you can step. You take more frequent steps or more steps. We don't need to go too fast. They don't need to be more frequent. That was the wrong word to choose. But we can go nice and slowly and make those steps quite small. Let's sink into that squat and little steps, nice even steps. Try and choose a speed and stick to it here. We're not trying to rush. We're keeping that bum nice and low. The weight right back in your heels. And deep breaths. Last 2 here. That's 1. And here's 2. And up. Good. Lower body is done. We're going to move on and work our arms, our upper body, our back, our chest. So we'll need both weights for these. We're going to start with those weights at our shoulders. We're going to push up 1 weight and then the other. We want to breathe out as we push the weight up. Breathe in as we slowly lower it down. So let's stand up, hold those weights up. Exhale, push up. Inhale, lower that weight. We can be fast as we push up. We want to be nice and slow as we lower. Good. Breathing out as we push up. Let's do the last 2, both weights at the same time. Good, and last one. Excellent. Bring those weights slowly down. We're going to keep hold of just 1. We're going to stand with our feet hip width apart, knees soft, and we're going to hinge forward at the hip. You can hold on to something in front of you, the wall or the chair, something for support. This 1 weight, we're going to row that arm back. So elbow right back past your body. Bring that weight up into your armpit. Keep that weight close to your body. Good. And let's switch that weight to the other side. So you're hinging at the hip, knees soft, leaning forward a little bit. Use this free hand for support on the wall, on a chair. And we'll row that arm back. Elbow, I should turn so you can see me. Elbow back past your body. Hand up into your armpit. Hand close to your body. Imagine the kind of movement, let's pause there, if you were starting like a chainsaw or whatever, you're pulling that elbow back. And 1 more, and we'll need both weights. And we'll do a nice bicep curl. So let's turn those palms so they're facing out. And we're going to curl up one hand and then the other. Hand all the way up to your shoulder. And slowly lower it down. Chest tall. Breathing out as you lift. Breathing in as you lower down. Good. For the last two, let's do both hands at the same time. Last one. Excellent. Let's pop those weights down. Good. We're going to repeat all of those, but we might just want to shake those arms around before we begin. Pick up those weights and let's go. Let's pick those hands up. So weights are on your shoulders. And we're going to push up one hand to the ceiling. Slowly lower that hand down. Good. Breathing out as you push that hand up. Great. Good. Starting to burn a little bit now. Let's do the last two. Both hands at the same time. Good. Last one. Excellent. And relax those arms. Good. We're going to keep hold of the one weight as we do our row here. You can take a moment. Holding on to that one weight. Feet hip width apart. Knees soft. Let's hinge forward at the hip. So we're leaning forwards and we're rowing that hand back. Elbow past your body. Keeping that elbow close. And that weight close to your body. Good. Last one. And let's switch sides. Hinge again, hinge over at the hip. Good. We keep a nice flat back. Elbow in and tight towards your body. Weight back towards that armpit. Good. Two more. Excellent. And stand. Let's pick up the other weight. And let's turn those palms to face forwards. And we'll do a bicep curl, one hand at a time. Breathing out as you lift up. Breathing in as you slowly lower. Good. Both hands at the same time now for two. Slowly as you lower, and last one. Good. Excellent. Pop the weights down. Good work. Have a drink if you need it. Good. Two more to do here, and they are a little more core specific. I'll show you the modifications if you don't want to be on the floor to begin with. So to start with, you're going to come close to the wall with the arms outstretched. So hands are at about shoulder height, standing up nice and tall. Let's take a step away so that your head is closer to the wall than your feet. I just need to move this way a little bit so you can see my feet. So the first thing you'll do is take one hand, touch your opposite shoulder, and then the same thing with the other hand. Then we're going to take one foot, step it out, and then in, and the other foot out and in. So if I show you this way, you're going to go hand to opposite shoulder. Same the other way, foot out and in, foot out and in. So we really want to think about engaging these core muscles, pulling that belly button in towards your spine. Imagine you've zipped up a really tight jacket. So you're holding those core muscles tight, holding them steady as you tap hand to opposite shoulder, foot out, in, out, in. And we want to avoid too much rocking and rolling around that upper body, so we stay nice and still as we do this. Good. The next one, if you don't want to be on the floor, you'll be seated. So sitting at the front of your chair, sitting up nice and tall, thinking about that core engagement again, space between your back and the back of your chair. You're going to lift one knee and then touch your toe and the other. Lift and toe touch. Lift and touch. Lift and touch with that toe. So those are your non-floor options. If you're on the ground, you're going to do that with me now. So let's step 1 foot forward. Bend that knee, front knee, lift that back heel, bend that knee too. Hinge forward, hands on either side of that foot. Bring that back knee down, and then we come down to all fours. I like to turn this way. I should have done it the other way. It doesn't matter which direction you're facing. So that first exercise, if you're standing, you're at the wall and you're tapping one hand to opposite shoulder and then one foot out and in and the other foot out and in. On all fours, we'll do something a little bit similar. We're going to take one hand down to your elbow and the other. Push yourself back, up, and then we're going to take one foot, lift, and knee back down, lift the other foot. And that's called a donkey kick. So kind of imagine that big kicking movement. All right, we're going to go ahead here. If you're on the floor, pay attention to which hand you start with, because the second time we'll switch. Let's all start with our right hand if we're on the floor. Here we go. We're going down onto shoulder, push yourself onto elbow, push yourself back up. One foot, kick, and kick. Good. Down, down, up, up with the hands, kick, and kick. Good. Hands down, down, up, up, kick, and kick, down, down, up, up, kick, and kick. Good. Down, down, up, up, kick, kick, and again. Down, down, up, up, kick, and kick. Good. And let's pause there. If you are not on the floor, you're going to come down to your seat now. And if you are on the floor, let's come down to be on our back. So I'm going to lay on my back. My legs are in the air, my knees are bent. So if you're on the chair, you're tapping one toe and then the other to the floor, lifting that knee. And we're going to do a similar thing on the floor here. We're tapping one toe and the other. Nice and slowly. Good, nice deep breaths. Good, nice and slowly. Let's do one more each side. 1 and 2. Good. Great, nice deep breath. Let's get back to that first position. If you are not on the ground, you're standing at the wall. If you're on the ground, you're going to roll yourself onto your side. Push up nice and slowly. And let's come onto all fours. All right. When we're ready, we're going down to elbow, starting with our left hand. Push yourself back up and then donkey kick, one on each leg. Here we go. Down, down, up, up, kick, kick, down, down, up, up, kick, and kick. Good. Down, down, up, up, kick, kick, down, down, up, up, kick, kick. Couple more. Down, down, up, up, kick, kick. And last one. Down, down, up, up, kick, and kick. Good. Let's come down to be on our backs. And if you're not on the floor, you can sit. And then you're going to lift your knees, tap your toe on the floor. And on the ground, we're going to do something similar here. So down on the ground, knees, legs up, knees bent. Let's tap one toe and then the other, nice and slowly. Inhale and exhale. Good, nice deep breaths. 2 more. Once more each side. Excellent. And both those feet down. Good. All right, bring those feet over to one side. Roll your knees and roll your upper body to your side. Let's push up. Let's do this slowly because it can be a little bit dizzy getting up and down. Up onto all fours. Going to bring one foot forward. Good, nice and slowly up. And then push yourself up to stand. Good. The getting up and down off the floor is part of the workout for sure. All right, we're going to move on to balance. Let's step 1 foot forward. So we have space between our feet. And we're going to shift that weight from one front foot to back foot, lifting our heels, lifting our toes. Keeping most of your feet on the floor, shoulders relaxed, shifting forwards and backwards. Good, as you shift forwards, let's push our hands forwards. Inhale and exhale as you push. We're really trying to push all of our weight into that front foot and then be able to keep our balance and shift that weight back. Good, and let's start lifting our feet. We can relax our arms. So now we're stepping from one foot to the other, nice and slowly. Good, as you step onto the back foot, let's lift the front and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Onto the front foot, lift the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's shift those feet around now. And same thing, we're shifting that weight forwards and backwards. Good. As you come back onto that back foot, let's lift the front and lift from the knee. So lift that front foot, lift that knee, and then shift your weight forwards again. This is a little bit more tricky. Really have to focus on that balance. And a hand on the chair if you need to is fine. Good, and once more. Good, and let's start lifting both feet, just a very small amount. Good. And as you step onto the front foot, lift the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Onto the back foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Feet on the floor. Excellent. Let's stand with our feet again, hip width apart. I'm going to step one heel forward. I'm going to stand on my right leg. I'm going to tap my left heel forwards. Standing up nice and tall, you're going to take that heel up off the ground, just a small amount. We're looking forwards. We're going to reach one hand forwards. Find something to look at that isn't moving, and take nice deep breaths here. And then let's lift that other hand forwards. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And onto the ground. Good. Let's try the other side. Standing on your left foot, tap the right forwards. Looking up and ahead. Let's take this heel up off the floor. Good, raise one hand forwards. And the other one if you can, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Excellent. We're going to do a bit more lifting one leg. So let's stand with a hand close to support, a chair, or I always use the wall. I'm going to lift my left knee and my left arm. I'm going to reach up. Slowly place that foot on the floor. Lift up and lower. Good. Breathing out as you lift. Breathing in as you lower that foot down. And we really want to be nice and slow on the lowering part. And the last one. Good, and let's switch to the other side. So standing on the left foot, and let's raise right knee and right arm. Breathing out as you lift. Breathing in as you lower down. And once more. Good, hands and feet to the ground. Excellent. Let's reach our arms up. We're in a Y shape here. We're going to stand on our right leg and lift our left. And let's circle this ankle. And back in the other direction. Good. Let's stand on the left foot. Raise the right, circle this ankle. And the other way. Good. And relax that foot and relax those arms. Excellent, everybody. Let's do some stretching. You're going to take one hand and reach across your body. Stretch through that shoulder, through that upper arm. Nice deep breaths here. Good. And let's switch to the other side. Good, relax that out. Let's reach one hand forwards. Now I want you to hold your fingers and pull back a little bit. Just enough to feel a little stretch through your through your wrist, through your forearm. Let's switch to the other side, reach forward. And pull back gently on those fingers. Good, and relax that hand. Excellent, let's have a seat. We're going to sit forward in our chair, stretch one leg out, heel on the floor, toe to the ceiling, and let's hinge forward. Feel that nice stretch in the back of your leg here. Take some deep breaths. Let's sit up, switch to the other side, heel to the floor, toe to the ceiling, and hinge forwards. Good, let's sit up in my chair. We're going to walk our feet out wide here. Turn those toes out if you can. Let's reach one hand up to the ceiling. It's my right hand. I'm going to hinge over to the left. So that right hand's on the top, and I feel a big stretch on the right side of my body, and let's breathe into the stretch. Let's come up, relax that arm. Let's reach the left hand to the ceiling, hinge at the hip over to the right. Good, and let's sit up, relax that arm again, bring those feet together. We're going to come up to feet. Let's reach those arms behind us. Reach for the back of the room. Stretch those fingers right out. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, wrap those arms around you. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze. A pat on the back. Thanks very much, everybody. Thank you for coming, joining in. I will see you on Wednesday. Wednesday will be the last Zoom of this week. Here on Wednesday, just be aware that there's no Zoom next week. Next week is our week off, and we start back on April the 7th.
Thank you, Hannah.
Oh, sad.
You're so welcome.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much, Hannah.
You're so welcome. See you soon.
Bye.